And we're back to another tutorial on how to manage your school's website. My name is Chris, and I'm going to be taking you through the SlideDeck 2 functionality today. I apologize, my voice is a little hoarse. I've been battling some crazy allergies these last couple of days. But let's go ahead and get started. SlideDeck is basically the slideshow component to your website. You'll see them on your homepage, and various other pages you have the option of putting them on. So let's go ahead and get started. Usually what I like to do, as you well know if you've been watching the previous tutorials, is I like to right-click the school name up here in this bar and then choose the Open Link in New Tab option, which allows me to bounce back and forth between the front end of the website here and the administrative area of the website back here. So what exactly is SlideDeck 2? Notice here on this demo site, which is Inspire, we have this rotating banner here, also the slide, more commonly known as a slideshow. We also have that on other demo sites. Let's see if we can pull some up here. On Simplicity, we've got this area right here, and on Fíjese, that slideshow area is right up here, and in Halcyon we have the slideshow area right there. So notice that most of these demo sites have a larger, more panoramic slideshow area. Let's go back to Inspire, which is the one I'll be using today. Let's just talk about that one. No matter which template you are using, the general principles remain the same. Back here in the administrative area, we have this SlideDeck 2 menu item. If I hover over that and choose Manage, you get to this page. And SlideDeck 2 is basically a fancy schmancy branded way of saying slideshow. You have two types of slide decks. You have a dynamic source and a custom content source over here. The dynamic source allows you to pull content from somewhere else on the web. That might be a YouTube channel or a Vimeo channel. Maybe it's someone else's RSS feed or a Picasa feed, even I don't know, a Flickr feed or something like that if you're going to be pulling photos that way. You also have a custom content over here, which is basically a Lego set slide deck builder. You get to mix and match the different types of content that you have, such as a video or a text or some HTML or just a plain old picture. And most of the time you're probably going to be using a plain old picture and the custom content slide deck builder. Now, unless you've deleted some of your slide decks, by default I have gone to every school website and I have set up a homepage slider. This one's called front page. It might be called home slider or homepage slider or web home slider, just whatever I was naming it at the time. But I try to make them as descriptive as possible. I'm going to go ahead and choose this Create Slide Deck under the Custom Content. If you have your home slider down here somewhere, go ahead and click into that. But just for the sake of the tutorial, I'm going to create a new one. So I'm going to choose Create Slide Deck. And this is the page that you will get to. If you chose the home slider one that had already been created, you're going to be approached with this similar page. The only difference is that this right here won't automatically load. But no biggie. So first let's name the slide deck what we want it to name. Let's see. Homepage slider. There you go. Nice and specific. And I know I mentioned it before, but the more specific that you are, the more helpful it is. 3 or 4 months down the road when you're wanting to change a picture on one of your slideshows and you come back and you're like, well, slider 1, where the heck was that? That's not very helpful to anybody. So name them specifically, thank yourself later with a candy bar or something. Or a nice yummy wrap. Kind of your choice there. So you have a number of different types of sliders that you can add to your slideshow. Here we have an image slide, a text slide, a video slide, or an HTML slide. We're actually not going to be getting into the text or video or HTML slides. What I found so far in this past year of working with the schools is that those are all more special case scenarios, and in general most people are going to be using the image slide. So we're going ahead and do that. Notice here that you can choose a singular image, or if you're feeling adventurous, go ahead and upload multiple. It'll save you a little bit of time if you have a number of images to upload at once. So I'm just going to do the singular one and choose image slide. Now once that is clicked, this little area right here loads. So I can upload an image from my computer. I can specify an image from a URL, meaning if it exists somewhere else online already, I can just pull it down into my slide deck. Over here I can choose from media library, meaning if I have already uploaded it to my website, I can just use that same image that's already uploaded in this same slide deck. Now I have uploaded quite a few images already into my website. I'm not quite sure which ones they are, so let's go ahead and visit the media library. Okay, let's see. So I've got 5 pages of images. Well, I'm going to choose the bonsai. So at this point, whether you uploaded from your computer or from media library or from the URL, it's all about going to be the same. The image displays right here. If you uploaded from the computer, to the right you'll have an upload button that you'll want to click to finish the upload process, because all you did initially was choose it, right? So after you've clicked that and your screen looks like this, you can choose to have a caption, a body text, or none at all. Now the ones I'm using on this page right here are using the body text. It shows the title and some text right there. But most of the time, I'm guessing you're probably going to use none. Let's go ahead and click none. Notice how by clicking that, these options right below those choices change. You go to body text, they expand. Caption, it has the same ones, they're just used differently. Back to none, they're gone. Okay, so at none or caption, whichever one, heck, just because I'm filling up to it, let's do a title. This is the slide title. Bonsai. And this is the slide's description. There you go. Now, preferred image size. By default, it's going to be set to auto 120. That gives it a little bit of a magnified look. You can change it to auto 100% or your thumbnail or your medium, large. I don't know, there are various image sizes there you can choose from. But when in doubt, just leave it at its auto and you will be okay. I usually don't recommend going below the 100% anyway. You start to get black edges around your pictures once you start doing that in your slideshow. So you also have image scaling down here. You can play with those. You can scale or scale proportionately and crop, etc. Basically what it's trying to do is just make a best fit into your slideshow dimensions, which we'll be talking about in just a bit. You have the caption position, top or bottom. I'll just leave it at the bottom. Then I will go ahead and hit apply. Now, this is the preview area of your slide deck. As you're working on it, feel free to come down and save the changes as you go along to notice a different... Oh, I guess we better talk about this real quick. The first time you save your slide deck, it's going to tell you 3 simple ways to publish it on your website. Method 1, and we'll get into this in a bit, you can insert it into an individual page or post. Method 2, you can do a new page or new post from your slide deck. Basically the same thing as method 1, just getting there differently. And method 3 is the shortcodes, which you just basically copy that text right there, takes the ID of the individual slide deck, and you paste it into your post where you want it to be. We will copy that so we have that for future use. I'm going to go ahead and hit close. Okay, so right now this is what my slide deck is looking like. I just uploaded the one image, and by default this is the nature of the slide deck with the border, and you'll see that I've got the caption here with the title and the slide description. If I want to add another slide, which I do, so I can show you some of the options, let's do that. This time we'll browse for an image, and we'll go into here and just see what we've got going on real quick. These kittens, aren't they cute? Let's use those. I'm going to upload the kittens. This time I'm going to use none. Oh, slide link, I guess I should mention that. The slide link is if when they click the slide, it takes them somewhere. So you could have it when they click the kittens picture in the slide deck that it will take them to homestarrunner.com or kittensarlovely.com. I don't even know if kittensarlovely.com is a real website, but I think you get the point. I'm going to click apply. Okay, now notice that I have multiple slides here that I can drag and drop slides in the order that I want them. Say I want the kittens first, but I don't. I want the bonsai tree first. Down below here you have a bunch of different options as to how the slideshow displays. These are some visual changes. You also have down here, you have setup, which is the actual size of the slide deck. By default, it's going to go to medium. Depending on your theme, though, that home page uses a different size. If I click custom right there, you have the different ways to change the sizes. So, for example, I might have a 550 by 300, or simplicity, I might have a 1000 by 300 or 350. I can't remember which one it is, but you get the point. You have the ability to change the proportions of your slide deck. I can also just do it medium. I'm going to do that by default. Covers on off, basically a cover photo for your slide deck. You have overlays. Heck, I haven't even played with all of these things yet. Basically, you'll want to go through and just visually deck out the way that your slideshow looks. I'm personally not a fan of the borders, so I usually click none. I think they are bulky and annoying. Let's see, then content. You can link the entire slide on or off, or just the title of the slides. You have your navigation. You can choose between dots or squares. In the Halcyon template, I have the thumbnails, and those are the squares that show up. You have the arrow styles and playback. A common question I get is how do you make it automatically go through, and that is the autoplay slide deck. You just choose that to on, and it will autoplay every 5 seconds. The slide will change. And then you can loop it through so it just keeps on going instead of stopping at the last one. Anyway, lots of stuff you can do. I'm going to click Save Slide Deck. Boom. So here you'll see how I have it set up. That is the preview to the slide deck. Okay, now what do I do with it? I've created my slide deck. Where can I put it? The first place that you might want to use the slide deck if you're managing your home page is, well, in the designated slide deck area on your website. That's done via Appearance Widgets. If I hover over Appearance Widgets, now look over here, and you'll see, depending on what template you're using, you'll have to look. You have different widget areas. Basically, widget areas are locations on your website where you can drag customizable content. In this Inspire template, it's called Home Top Left, and that is where the slide deck is. Notice, most of the templates have a widget area labeled Slideshow or Slide Deck Widget Area or something like that. But notice here in this Home Top Left, it says place your slideshow widget here. Dimensions are 615 by 310. So what I do, I'm going to move that one out. So basically, if that's empty, what I would do is come down here and find the Slide Deck 2 widget. I'll click it and drag and drop it up into the Home Top Left spot. And then it says choose a slide deck. Well, I want home page slider or front page, either one. I'll choose home page slider, although I didn't get my dimensions right, and leave the title off, leave the intro text off, leave the footer text off. You can use responsive if you would like, or proportional, and hit save. And come back to the front end of your website and let's refresh. Bingo. So I've refreshed, and there is the slider into my slide deck area. Now notice it says 615 by 310. I think if I come back over here to SlideDeck 2, Manage, Homepage Slider, let's click into there, and let's change the setup to, see, we're only 15 pixels off, 615 by 310. Save SlideDeck. Now notice how the dimensions change. There you go. It's a bit squishier now, or a bit shorter, I guess is the word I'm looking for. Okay, so that is adding a slide deck to your home page. The second place that you might want to add a slide deck is on a page or a post or something to that effect. You can do that rather easily. So over here, let's go ahead and go to posts, and let's choose all posts. I'm going to use a post that I have already written. If you're wondering how to write a post, I've already created a post tutorial. Feel free to go back and watch that one to get up to speed. So I've already created a post. Let's go into this intergalactic chase captivates millions. I click into there and I've got a bunch of content. What I can do is at the end of that post I want to display a slideshow. Well, we copied that short link, or sorry, that short code earlier. I could paste that in right there and that will display the slideshow. But let's say that you didn't copy that. You forgot to copy it, or you copied something else in the meantime. Right up here you have an Insert Slide Deck button. If I click that, I can choose whichever slide deck I created. Well, I created Homepage Slider. I want to insert that. Bingo. It's inserted. Nice and easy. If I update, now notice it still shows the short code right there. It's saying insert, it looks for a bracket, then it says insert slide deck 2 ID equals 293. This ID refers to that specific slideshow that I created. So now let's go check it out on the post. Scrolling. Bingo! There you go. There is the slide deck widget on the post. Now notice on the post though that this area right there is cut off, right? That means the slide deck is too large for the content area, and you might want to change the dimensions just a little bit until you get it to fit. I think it's around 580 pixels. Anyway, that is that. That is how you manage your slide deck. A couple things you might want to be aware of, I suppose, is when you're navigating it, if you hover over, you can navigate like that. Notice that these radio buttons down there change, or I guess the circles. This right here allows people to share or tweet the image. And there you go. If you have any questions about how to manage your slide deck, go ahead and give me a call or send me an email. You can get a hold of me via the communications department. Thanks for watching. Bye.